So Cory is at Bonhams Collector Car Auction at Westin Kierland Resort. Oh,
Looking
Cory.
dapper, too.
Lovely. Splendid.
Boy. I'm telling you what, this is, for me, the best Thursday of the whole year. When Bonhams brings the fun to town, it is always terrific. Here's an example. This 1954 Ferrari, owned by James Dean. He raced it as well. Now, he's pretty well known for his relationship and his sad end with the Porsche mark, but this is one of his favorite cars, and boy, it is in top shape. It's up for auction today, as are many of the finest cars, not just in Europe or in the United States, but around the world. They're just the best. And when Bonhams comes to town, it's always going to be great. And let's just take a little spin around the room. Let you drink it all in. Yeah, there you go. And we're ending on Sterling Moss's great car over there. But Eric Minoff is with us. And Eric, thanks for getting up early for us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by.
I'm not kidding. This is really one of my favorite times of the year. Let's start with some of the celebrity cars, if you will, those that have a real name attached. This beautiful.
So Porsche 904 here was delivered new to the United States, had a lot of American racing history, especially in California, and actually was owned in period by Robert Redford, who was quite a sports car enthusiast, as a lot of the Hollywood set was.
Hardly anybody looks better in a sports car, I suppose, than Robert Redford.
Yeah, well, maybe James Dean, but James Dean, Steve McQueen, they were all in that clique of Hollywood drivers.
And on down the road we go?
Sure, it's a 71 Lamborghini Miura S. Really spectacular car. This kind of was one of the cars that launched Lamborghini as a mark that was making the the most wild cars, and you can imagine what this looked like going down the road in in the 70s. This has been with the same owner for nearly 50 years, which is pretty incredible.
The Lamborghini lovers, they love that Miura. They love those flip-up headlights, and they're just such a pretty car. Now, this Bugatti, pretty fast.
Yeah, this it's pretty incredible. Bugatti EB110. This actually predates the Veyron and the Chiron. It was not part of the Volkswagen Group at that time. Independent company, V12, all-wheel drive, really spectacular machine. Only 139 of these EB110s were ever made. Never sold new in the United States. It's only pretty recent that we've been able to get a taste of this forbidden fruit.
Yeah, and now we're looking here at one of the most iconic of all collector cars, this beautiful Mercedes Gullwing. And boy, I wish we could. Can you flip up those doors?
Why it's a Gullwing.
Yeah, they don't call it a Gullwing for nothing. Oh my gosh, it's the best. Now, Tesla seems to be copying this idea, but this was these doors were constructed in this way for a very good reason, right? Explain that to people.
Right. So the frame of the car is quite high. There's frame material that goes up here. So rather than having a small door that would cause people to bang their head on the roof, they put this door here as an engineering solution to the problem of letting people get in. It's still a little awkward to get in and out of the car, but once you're in it,
you want to practice before you show up at the movie premiere.
But once you're in it, you look real cool. So
boy, you really do. Well, just for our viewers, the nuts and bolts of today's auction, everything starts at 11, but you can come earlier and preview the cars, right?
Sure. Doors open at 9 a.m. today. The auction again starts at 11 a.m. You can just spectate for $30, get you a gallery guide. A catalog is $100, and that gets you and a guest in.
Very good. Well, $100 for two. That's pretty good. And boy, I don't know what Fiat was thinking when they built this beauty, but there are not many of these around.
This is the only Fiat 1100 with this body style. It was the first car that Pietro Fiore designed, and what's really incredible about it now is, this was 1946. This must have looked like a spaceship landing from Mars when it debuted.
I love that.
Really set the tone for automotive design going forward. So it really is a spectacular piece considering when it was released and how it's aged.
Thank you so much. Oh, well, we can't wait to see more this morning. It's all happening at the Westin Kierland Resort. Easy to find, just off Greenway and a little bit east of Scottsdale Road. And you'll be glad you came. Everything looks delicious. I don't know. I think the... you
have a favorite, Cory?
I think the jacket... Oh, wow.
Yeah, the jacket does go with that car.
I've got to say, if I'm going to go racing, then this is what I want.
Oh. Okay. What about a man about town evening with your lady?
Ascot.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, if I'm just out for dinner?
Yeah.
Then
with the lovely Mary Jane.
I want an old Jag is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You'd look
and I don't even care if the dew is on it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I feel
those
pretty
frosted?
good in that.
windshields they had on those things back in the day?
It's not frosted, but yeah, believe me, the chamois are hard at work
I
this
bet they
morning.
are.
Yeah, there's a lot of cursing at the temperature for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully
Lots
those are
more to come. We'll see you in a few.
Good. See you in a bit.
cashmere chamois.
AZAM is back.
It's car season.
It is. I mean, how many did we count so far this week? 3 that we've
At
covered?
least 3 that we know of. But
Yeah.
Cory was saying this is maybe his favorite, right? The Bonhams collector car auction, Westin Kierland Resort, which is such a great spot anyway. Hey, bud.
It is. It's a great spot, and one thing I love about this auction is that it's small, about 100 cars, but you know, everyone is going to be going for a big number, and you'll find owners here that have been here many times. They like to buy and sell. They've always got their eye on a friend's car, it seems. But you're looking at a 1937 Jaguar Ss 100. It is just great. You can tell it's a driver. It's got some marks on it. You know, this has been used for fun. It's not a trailer queen. And if you want more of a James Bond feel, how about the DB5? Yeah, there it is in the James Bond color scheme for sure. And if you want to see them all, with your admission, you're going to get the catalog, and everything's in there. We've got about 100 beautiful cars. You know, I have spent... Last time I got a catalog, I just sat down and read it like a book. Every one of these cars is so beautifully described. But Eric, as we kind of take a walk down the row here, we don't have too much time, but
Sure.
For folks who've never been to your auction before, any tips for the first-timer?
Well, just make sure, obviously, that you bring your ID, and if you're registering to bid, bring some proof of funds, obviously. You know, these things aren't cheap. We want to make sure that everyone has the dosh to take care of it. But, you know, bid eagerly. The cars, the time to buy is when they're on the block, and it's a lot of fun to witness it and participate.
And as you look down the road, what's the next wave, in your opinion? Or is everything still hot? Will there always be a market for every great car?
Well, there's always great cars will always have a market. I think people right now are really appreciating cars that have a more tactile and interesting feel, because modern cars, you're a little more disconnected. It's not a bad thing necessarily, but being able to, you know, shift with a manual transmission or kind of see the mechanics and things like that, it does have an appeal that more modern sports cars and modern cars in general don't provide nowadays.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a great morning. It is every year when you guys come. Eric, thank you so much. And again, the bidding starts at 11, but doors are being flung open here at 9, so you can get yourself in where all the action is. The tent is already humming in there, and it's going to be busy. Plus, they serve breakfast, too. So come on out, get yourself a paddle and make something happen for you. Yeah, that's right. There's breakfast.
Yeah,
We've got
I'll take the
chafing
breakfast.
dishes out there.
Oh, I love a good chafing
Tiers
dish.
of croissants, and yeah, I know. There's fruit, and we've got the whole thing going there, Troy.
All right, buddy. Yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed having you out there.